The show you are about to listen to is intended for mature audience only. There will be things said that may not be appropriate for younger audience and may offend you. We at Whatever Talk would like to apologize in advance, but really, get over it.
What up, though, people? Welcome to Whatever Talk, the show where we talk about whatever we seem to be talking about at the time you listening to it. I'm your host, Donnie. Don't get Kev, but I got a plethora of other people to talk to. We had them on the show before. This is like the all-star to me because you're all the top five people I've loved to talk to as of right now on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you again for coming on and being a part of this wacky brain of mine that I don't mind sharing my thoughts with the rest of the planet.
We talking about whatever that's on your mind. Speak your mind, don't be shy. This is your time to shine.
You are the first group of people to get a topic ahead of time, and I do that on purpose because this time I wanted you to think about it a little bit.
And I still didn't have time to think about
I don't like people to know what we're going to talk about because I want to know their initial emotion, their initial thoughts on it, like right then and there. Yeah, like I don't want you to be like, you know what? I thought about this and I changed my mind 80 different times. Like, well, no, we ain't got time for mind changing right now. You can think about that doing your growth in the rest of your life. let's let's introduce. We have the first person that was on my screen when I seen Miss Asia. How you doing?
Hi, how's everyone doing?
Awesome, awesome.
Good. So I'm Dr. Asia King out of I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, but I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama. I've been up here 10 years and I retired from therapy 3 years ago. And now I do life coaching, retreat and spa services. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing now.
Awesome. Coach Terry, how you doing?
Hey, good. Thank you for having me on again. So, my name is Coach Terry Bryant. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm from Mobile, Alabama. Um,
The
what's
gump.
up, Alabama? I am one of the very few female football coaches across the nation. I coach with my husband, but I also coach women's tackle football, and I coach track and basketball as well. By profession, I left education after I got hit with a chair. A child
Hold
hit
on.
me with a
You just go glance over that, like
Over that. Just straight over it.
really?
Just
Exactly.
That's a life-altering move.
Exactly. You can't make no
yes.
more comments after saying something like that. You got to
Man,
explain
yes.
just a
So
little bit.
I was working in education, and when I got hit with a chair, I left. So now I work on a plantation at a manufacturing place, and it's better than getting hit and getting cussed out by kids. So
Wow.
um but coaching and helping people is definitely my passion. I've done quite a bit of actually life coaching as well. But I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, the reason why the kid wasn't folded up in the desk is why.
Mm.
Because I did not want to be on channel 18 talking about child abuse.
Exactly. Period.
And so for some reason I was able to maintain my composure at that particular time, and I didn't choke the kid. So
How old was he? What grade was you teaching?
he was in middle school. He was
Oh
middle
yeah,
school,
What?
maybe
yeah, that
14, 15.
oh yeah, that's folding up
No,
age right
maybe
there.
maybe
You
not
get
that old. Maybe 12, 13, maybe
Mm.
something like that. I think he was like a seventh grader.
Old
Mm.
enough
Yeah,
to know better.
old
yeah,
enough
if
to know
you a
better. Yes,
teen, yeah, if you a teen, you old enough to get folded up in a desk.
Okay.
absolutely. I agree.
I
I
mean,
agree.
She tried to take the upper road. You talking about
okay.
some folding kids in the chair.
No, see, we would be talking about a complete
Well,
detour.
that's the reason why I'm no longer employed by the school
Mm.
system, because I was already almost at that point, because I was working at an alternative school, and so I was getting cussed. I was getting called a bitch every day. I
Oh,
was getting disrespected on a regular basis. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous how these kids act these days. It's
Oh
unbelievable.
my
Yeah.
God. I believe it's in the clause of alternative school, folding up kids into desk.
I don't think that's in the policy, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not in the
right.
policy.
Oh,
We go
okay,
through
okay.
safe crisis training, and they want us to take them to a floor in a, in a very delicate way. Kind of like football these days where you can't touch the quarterback. You kind of got to lay him down on a pillow. You can't
Mhm.
touch him.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh, we're gonna have to have a
they
different
don't
conversation, another
they don't play that.
conversation.
Now sometimes there is a little bit of force, but
What's the point of playing the
y-
sport then?
Mm.
Like, what the heck?
it's coming to that.
I like going to boxing and you can only throw your like this.
A
You
jab. Oh, yeah,
only
Yeah.
can throw jabs. You go like, what's the
that's
point of
it.
coming to
Yeah, it's
boxing
getting to
for?
that.
What's
The whole
the
world is getting soft. Everything is getting
okay?
soft. We're getting
We in the
soft.
mixed martial arts ring. When I say fight, you guys come out whistling.
Okay.
Like, you guys talking about your best your mama Joes on this mixed martial arts fight. Like, let me see your best
Yeah, it's getting
beatboxing
soft. We're getting soft.
skills. The best beatboxing skills. But we also have Mr. BG Howard here. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you, Mr. Donnie?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Well, it's nice to be back. I still recant the conversation that we had previously, and it was honestly one of the best chats. It wasn't an interview. It was one of the best chats I've encountered. But before I go any further, Miss Bryant, I have to say, in the words of my late grandfather, if that child had hit me with that chair, every time he heard the term chair, he'd be running for his life. To see, I'm telling you, I'm practicing. I'm practicing, and I'm doing a fairly decent job of drawing closer to the Lord, but I'm not quite there yet. And if he, as a child who is of age, hit me with a chair, yeah, I fight babies, old
I
people.
just have a new respect for teachers
Mm,
because they definitely have to have some type of, I don't know what they got in them,
I don't know what
honestly.
you got.
Yeah, I don't have it. I had to leave.
I,
Right. And so because I was definitely losing my patience, and I just wasn't myself. It was just got to the point where, when you get up in the morning, you got to go to work, and it was just stressful, and it just wasn't something that it was starting to affect my health because it was just so stressful to just deal with it, and dealing with other people's kids is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna I'm gonna put it to you simply. Understand, I fight babies, old people, and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
And I
I
rest my
fight
case.
baby.
He's
I
not
fight
playing.
baby.
Mr. Howard's not playing.
Oh man, but yeah, I do say there. I think teachers should be amongst the highest paid
They should be some of the highest
people,
paid
highest
people.
paid
I
professions
definitely
on the
agree.
planet. They should be up
Definitely
there
agree.
with if professional players getting paid what they should get, what they're getting paid just to play a game. The teachers should be, if not on that tier, right up under.
You're educating the masses,
Hmm.
otherwise we'd have a whole bunch of ignorant people running around, which we do that. We have that
But I
anyway,
was about to
right?
say we already got that.
They should get a bonus for those that they're able to make it through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
This is
They
true.
should they should at least get some type of a bonus for, hey, this one actually, got some sense. But that's a whole nother whatever talk is our whole whack education system is whack anyway. So that's a whole different talk right there.
Look, you get a bonus for every kid that make it out the hood.
Okay.
Man, something,
Oh,
something. Yeah.
oh man, that's hilarious. But I have recently did a episode where I asked, "Who are you?" We didn't talk on it. I just let it ponder for a minute. And when I mean, "Who are you?" I don't want to know that your favorite color is, what your favorite color is, what your favorite food. what you like to do on your time off, your free time. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking to have a conversation about who do you think you are? Why do you think the way you think? Why do you like what you like? What do you think that is? Your brain or your soul? To get into my thoughts a little bit more, we kind of don't really know what a soul is.
Mm.
So that's kind of lingering up in the air as well. I also had this question to ask that can probably intertwine with this question here. Am I programmed to think the way that I'm thinking, or am I deviating by thinking, period?
Mm.
The thing that came to my head about that, that would be the brain. I think the brain is a mechanism. And if that was to be the case of me being programmed to think the way that I'm thinking, then I'm programmed that way. That's not really me per se. I am programmed to be who I am versus, I guess we can say, the soul, versus the soul being exactly who I am and me growing to be what I am and changing my mind to be what I am. So do you get what I'm saying? Or is it just that convoluted? Like I understand from both parties if it is understandable and not understandable. So let's go with whoever want to kick it off. Who do you think you are?
Well, I'll concede and allow the ladies first. I am a Southern gentleman.
I know Mercury got something to say about this.
Wait, Mercury. Well, so I'll speak from a spiritual point of view because I'm a proud Southern Baptist woman, and we were always taught around, the soul. Your soul is your mind, will, and your emotions. So your thinker, your actions, and your feeler. Okay. And it's very different than your spirit. So I know people use it interchangeably, but when we think about soul, it really is your mind. How do you think about situations, your will, our actions toward it, and then our emotions? How do we feel? And so, based on what they say, the debate between nature versus nurture, the environments that we're raised in and what nurture, what creates and really enhances our soul. It can be based on just how you were naturally born, but then also enhanced on what's around you. So for me, like I said, I was born in Texas, lived in Germany for a hot second, but I was raised in Birmingham, Alabama. So my experience was hearing gospel sermons and staying on the front porch and, waving to everybody and Southern living, being in the heat, being in the sun, and growing up with a grandmother that lived to be 100. So, who was born in 1905. So by the time I got to her, she was in her late 70s, early 80s. So, how I grew up now, or how I am as a woman, I'm up here in the north in Minnesota, 40 years old, young, but I've got quite a bit of experience to where now I'm more spiritual, and all the things that I used to do when I was younger, I don't do now. And now I've got 2 boys where I'm raising them in the church, not perfect, not trying to paint this perfect picture, but really, really understanding that you can't just be out here mindless. You got to be mindful, and you got to be aware and constantly engaged in your surroundings, because everybody is going through something. And then, having practiced mental health for 23 years, I'm more careful about people and the fragility in their stance in life.
Well, What? No, no. What is virginity? I've heard that word before. I can't remember if I
Just
know
be
it or not.
just being fragile. Like all of us are